Morning, y'all. Welcome to Aberrant Garage. My name is Anthony. First, I'd like to say thank you for joining us today. If this is your first time to the channel, I want to say welcome. If you've been here before, I want to say welcome back. We sure appreciate having you guys around and joining us on these adventures. This week, we had the joy of adding a new truck to the family. Unfortunately, that means that we're going to have to go ahead and let one go. And today I will start the process of going through that truck, getting everything cleaned up, getting some maintenance done on it, and getting it ready for its new home. So if you stick around, I'll take you through the good, the bad, the ugly, where we were and where we are now. All right? So this is our 2006 Ram 2500. It's a crew cab short bed configuration with projector headlights from Spider that have the DRL bar that lights up, and it's also riding on a Carli Leveling Kit with their linear rate coils up front, progressive rate leaf packs in the rear, and Bilstein shocks all the way around. And it's also riding on 35-inch tires on the factory wheels. Inside we have bucket seats up front with a center console, some dirty rear seats, a trailer brake controller, and light bar control. So this truck came from the factory with a common rail 5.9 liter Cummins and 48 RE transmission, and to date it has about 196,000 miles on it. Okay guys, one thing to note with this truck is here in a few days we will actually hit the 10th anniversary from the purchase of this thing. And at the time that we bought it, my son was 2 months old, our oldest, and since then we've had 3 more children, several house moves, trips to Texas, trips to Colorado. It's been through a lot, and so one of my big concerns with trying to get this thing prepped is getting the interior and the truck cleaned up. So that's going to be the first step in the process here. And let me get my tripod set up, and I'll start getting into removing center console and seats and stuff to get the carpets really cleaned up. Because I mean, I told you, I'll share the ugly with you, and the carpets are definitely kind of ugly right now. Okay, so the upper part of this console here comes out pretty easy. A simple tug at the back end releases it, and it lifts right out. That reveals 3 screws underneath that are about a 5/16 head on them. You take those out, you can lift the bottom portion of the center console out of the truck, and then that exposes the base of the center console where you can actually start removing the hardware to take the rest of the console out. You'll need a 13mm. I recommend a ratcheting wrench for this because these are some long-winded guys and there's not a lot of room to actually throw the wrench, so if you have something ratcheting, it'll make it a whole lot easier on you. In addition to that, it is worth mentioning that there are only 4 bolts in this console. There's 2 up front and then 2 in the back. To access the 2 nuts for the back of the console, this back panel needs to be removed. Simply pulling at the bottom corner gets it to pop loose, and then you have to remove the wire off this 12-volt outlet, and then the panel is free to set to the side. Okay, now that we got the center console out, it's worth noting that there is one wire that does connect up under there that you'll have to remove a couple of these guys from the underside of the center console to get that out, and then underneath the passenger seat here you'll have another electrical connector to disconnect before removing the 4 bolts that hold that passenger seat. Okay, now that the passenger seat is out, I'm also going to take out the jack mount and hardware. It's pretty easy. There's just a thumb screw that goes in right here. Take that out, and the rest of this with a pull releases and just comes right out. Okay, so I promised I would share with you guys the ugly part of all of this, and to say that this interior is not ugly would be a lie. At this point, all I've done is pull the seats and the center console out. I haven't vacuumed, I haven't picked up anything. This is just as it was as I cleaned it out. It's also at this point that I decided I'm going to go ahead and remove this carpet completely from the truck and give it a deep clean and pressure washer. In order to get the carpet out, I had to pull all the trim pieces from the bay pillar ceiling all the way down to the floor out, as well as the sill trim pieces from the kick plates up underneath the dash, all the way back to the rear seat. And at this point, the carpet's ready to come out. So there was one minor detail that I left out. There are several plastic clips along the back edge of the carpet here in this underseat storage area that all have to be removed prior to being able to pull the carpet out. Once those are out though, it's pretty simple to get the carpet out. There was some of the foam padding on the back of the carpet that had over time become attached to the sheet metal floor. That was pretty easy to separate, and then once that was all separated, it was just a matter of lifting and pulling and trying to get this molded carpet out through one of the doors. So once I had the carpet out of the truck, I vacuumed it real good and then mixed up a solution of Simple Green and water and grabbed a scrub brush and saturated this carpet pretty heavily and scrubbed the whole thing down with a scrub brush. And to give you kind of an idea of how bad it was, I'll scrub this spot just a little bit so you can kind of see the color of the foam and water that was coming out of this stuff. It was pretty gross. After a good scrubbing with the water and the Simple Green, I took to a pressure washer to thoroughly rinse out all of the detergent and the nastiness, and I hope you can see it here where I'm zooming in, the water that is running off the bottom of this. Absolutely disgusting. What you're looking at here is the immediate result after rinsing with the pressure washer. I just have to say, I think it's kind of remarkable how well that Simple Green and a pressure washer work to clean this carpet up. It looks 100 times better already at this point. Alright, so I know I said I would take you through the good, the bad, and the ugly. I would also take you from where we were with my old truck, the 2006 Dodge, and I'd show you where we were going with the new truck. Unfortunately, this process with getting the old truck cleaned up and getting the carpets cleaned and everything took a little bit longer than I had expected it to. Unfortunately, that means you're gonna have to wait until the next video to see exactly where it is we're going. If you were watching the video closely, you might have caught a glimpse of where we're going here in the future. That being said, I've got a few other things I'm going to be doing to this truck prior to actually putting it on the market to sell. And with that, I'd like to ask you to subscribe so that you can see where we're going. Also, click the notification bell so you can see when that video comes out. Also, go ahead and throw some comments, maybe share our video and help us grow the channel a little bit. Ultimately, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back.